welcome back to another video. I hope you are all doing well. With the sun shining, I am in such a good mood today, even though I feel so tired from yesterday. So today's Monday. Yesterday is when the clocks went forward an hour, and it has really thrown me out. I was so tired last night, and this morning both myself and Sam woke up and was a bit like, oh, it's so tiring. So that has affected us a little bit, but like I said, because the sun is shining, I apologise, I had to cut the clip off there. Oscar and Rosie are so territorial of this house, it's unbelievable. Anybody that actually just goes for a nice old walk with their dogs and they're straight on it. But anyway, update on the ensuite. I'll try not to repeat myself too much because I did show this in the previous video, but this is where we are up to at the moment. As soon as Sam finishes work today, he's going to try and get all this bit round here tiled. He's managed to do this bit here. There's one bit here that he can't actually get done until he's ordered an extra bit that goes around the edge. I actually don't know what he's got to order, so I'll try not to think of the correct wording for that. And my plan of action is I've got a couple of hours before my next client, so I'm going to get all of these tiles here cleaned, ready for grouting, and I've actually got to try and get these off somehow. Now, Sam did forget to leave his mallet here before he went off to work this morning, so I've got to try and go in at it with a hammer, and I am so worried I'm going to like chip and break the tiles because I know what I'm like. I am so incredibly clumsy, it's unbelievable. But yeah, I'm going to get cracked on with that now, and hopefully I can get quite a bit done before Sam gets back from work and before I've got to get changed again for my next client. But yeah, because of the change of plans with working on the ensuite and then moving into this main bedroom and the small bedroom, because of the radiator situation, we've actually had obviously the change of plans. So Sam is trying to contact the local merchants to see if we can find some mouldings for the panelling slightly cheaper than what I found online, or if they can match it or anything like that, because we do like to try and support our local sort of merchants as much as possible. So yeah, we'll see how that goes, and I'm sure I'll keep you updated with all of that. Everything is slightly delayed as expected. Sam needed to get a couple of bits for the ensuite before he can continue tiling, and he couldn't find it at one of our local merchants, so he had to travel a little bit further today to pick that up. So this evening he is going to get that done. I have cleaned some of the tiles, but I need to go around the window because he's now finished that up and get those cleaned up. But yeah, I may as well just give you a little bit of an update in here. So this is where we're up to. Most of this is all clean now. The only bits that I couldn't do were like round here because I couldn't knock some of the plasticky bits off. without Sam's mallet, which I have got now here, and Sam has done all around here now, which makes the window look so different. Now all this bit here is all nicely covered up. So I've just got to get these off this evening and get all of these tiles cleaned up, and then I may as well do this side as well. But yeah, Sam needed to order something for around here, hence why he's not managed to get these tiles done yet. But it does mean that it's delayed everything even longer with regards to getting in the bedrooms, whitewashed. So that will end up happening the start of next week now. But yeah, I didn't kind of expect us to get to that point this week anyway. Oh, before I forget, one thing that I did do yesterday actually when I got back from the office was I went outside the front of the house, and also obviously the back of the house. If you'd have seen my previous video, you'll know that I have quite a lot of flowers just blooming in the garden, which is absolutely beautiful. I actually cut...
Here's what I found.
Oh, my watch is going again. I picked these beautiful hyacinth flowers in the garden. I didn't actually realise we'd got these light pink ones, and they're absolutely beautiful. And then these, I don't actually know what these are called. They look like mini versions of the, I was going to say dandelion then, daffodils.
Sorry,
but
I don't understand.
Oh, please do ignore my watch. Yeah, they look like small versions of the daffodils, but they're not. They look different to the mini daffodils that I've got in the garden. I don't know if there's an actual name for the mini daffodils or what, and I actually don't know what these are called, but I just thought I'd pick them and put them in this pretty vase in the lounge. So yeah, I'm really happy with what I picked there. A top tip though, if you do pick flowers from the garden, which you probably already know, there are a lot of bugs that are on the flowers, so I had to spend quite a while debugging the flowers before I could actually put them in the vase, or else we would have ended up with bugs all over the place. So if you're gonna go out into your garden and pick flowers from this, then please do bear that in mind and make sure that you debug them before you put them in the vase. But yeah, they look super pretty on the side there and did not have to pay a thing for them, so super happy with that. Please do ignore the state of me today. I look awful, and the sun is shining, so hence why I'm sprinted at this moment in time. But I'm not complaining because it looks absolutely beautiful outside. I'm not gonna lie, progress this week has been quite slow. So today both myself and Sam are gonna just dedicate a full day just trying to get as much as possible done in both the small bedroom actually and in the ensuite. You can probably hear in the background Sam scraping away. But basically there's a part of cleaning up the tiles in there that I personally didn't want to do. I'm such a clumsy person, and he's currently there with like a Stanley knife scraping out the plastic bits, and knowing my luck I'd scratch the tile or end up cutting myself. So yeah, but I'll show you what it currently looks like at the moment. So in here Sam's actually going to get all the skirting on all around here, and then he's also going to get the architraves up round the door, and then depending on how much time he's got, he might actually whitewash the ceiling and the walls. So if he does manage to do that today, it will look so different. But yeah, so that's in there. And then coming into the ensuite, please do ignore these loud noises. Have you done? No? Yeah? So actually, when was it that you did the tiles? Yesterday. Sam actually had a bit of time yesterday. He had a change of plans, so he managed to get done all the tiles around here and then down this side here, which is probably the last of the toughest bits of tiling that you've got to do, isn't it? We haven't obviously done the floor yet in here. I'm going to grout all of the walls today. What else? There was something else I was going to do. No, I've got to grout all this. I've got to clean it up a little bit because Sam has excuse me. Sam noticed a couple of bits that I obviously didn't quite clean up. Leave me alone, it was dark. So yeah, fingers crossed today will be quite a productive day, getting a lot done. What kind of mix is that? Pro Grout Flexible Grout. And we've got white, haven't we? Same as the...
No, it's blue. Same as the bag.
Honestly. So what do I need to do? Just put it in?
Yeah.
Do I have to do it slowly?
Go on. Keep going. Push it, push it, push it.
Why did you not tell me?
And then go quicker. Yeah.
Now the grout's all mixed up. For anyone that's interested, all we've done is mix the grout stuff in there with water, and then Sam's used his whisk on the end of his drill to get it all whisked up. All ready to go!
4 different edges. Rounded, first rounded, they're nearly square, fully square.
Right, they look the same, them two.
Slightly different.
Oh yeah, right. So what do I need to do then?
Get it on there.
So I don't need that thing for anything?
Just for cleaning the edge of the buckets at times.
Right. Okay. Okay, don't do it for me then, thank you.
You just got to make sure, see like that's not full.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Can it be like bulging out? Or do you want it quite flush?
Just smoother the better, it's easier for cleaning.
Right, okay. Thank you.
Like perfect.
And I need to use those
like
edges really, mainly, not those.
That one, it depends, when you go into the ring you'll be able to redo corners, you might have to do that by hand.
Right, okay.
When you're going up to like there, you want it
Do I need to do
square. Yeah.
up there as well? What about the bottom?
No.
Or not? Okay.
Just go to the bottom, you don't see the bottom room. You've got tiles to go on with them.
Okay. I don't know what was wrong with me yesterday, but I tried to film this clip and I was just so tired, I think, yesterday, that I was just rambling on, not making any sense whatsoever. So I thought, it's a new day, I'll just get it refilmed and basically just give you one last update before I end the video. Obviously in the Ensuite you would have seen that I've had it all grouted now, and I have just spent the last couple of hours cleaning it all up as well. So with regards to grouting, if any of you are looking to do it or looking to scrape out your old grout and replace it with new, the things I have found with the grout is that the grouting of the actual tiles is perfectly fine. Obviously you just use your trowel just to push it all in, which works perfectly. One thing that I would advise you to do though is the mess that's around the actual tile, I'd try and clean it up as much as possible before it sets, so that when you actually come to clean it you've got less work to do. And another thing is, I had all the tiles grouted, left it for a couple of hours and tried to clean over the top of it, and it actually pulled some of the grout out of the little cracks. So one thing that I probably would advise, which I am not a professional, this is just personal experience, but I would advise that you probably leave it till the next morning to wipe off the excess around the actual tiles itself, because you may find that if you do it too soon that it will just pull all the grout out. And I found that by doing it today, all it did was took away the excess bit around the tiles itself, as opposed to actually taking out the important bit. So that's how I found it. Moving on to the small bedroom, Sam managed to whitewash all the walls and the ceiling. He's obviously put the skirting on. I will show you in both the rooms in a moment. And we've actually had a change of plan with what we're going to do in especially the small bedroom. So when I actually come up with all of these ideas for how I want the rooms to be, I generally will look on places like Pinterest and Instagram. I would say Instagram is more realistic. Pinterest, there's often photos on there that you think, oh yeah, I really like the look of that, and it's thousands of pounds. So yeah, that's why I like to revert back to Instagram. There are so many beautiful home accounts out there that I follow and take inspiration from. So basically in the smallest bedroom, it's gonna just be like a junk room, let's say. Fingers crossed there won't be that much junk, but it's just gonna be that small room that just sort of gets left just to put extra bits and bobs that we don't need in there. So I was going to actually panel the whole way round the room, sort of like 3/4 of the way up, have the top bit white and the bottom bit like a sort of beigey colour. But thinking of the future of the room, I don't actually know what it's going to be. I mean, it's a junk room, so trying to make it look all pretty with lots of panelling is not really that practical. So instead I've decided that part way from sort of like the top of the ceiling, I'm going to put like a dado rail around that area and then paint that top bit white and then the ceiling white. So hopefully it will just give an illusion that it's a slightly bigger bedroom with it being sort of like white, bright and airy. And then from the dado rail down, I'm going to use the same paint colour as to what we've got in the second bedroom, which is the Good Home Cancun paint. Absolutely love it. It looks great in the second bedroom, so we're just going to continue that on into the smallest room. And then the plans for the main bedroom, we're going to panel the back wall 3/4 of the way up, and actually this time we're going to sort of like flip the colours so that the bottom bit of the panelling is going to be white and then the top bit is going to be like a sort of beigey neutral colour, and then that beige neutral will then just follow around on the rest of the walls. So we are just panelling that back wall, and the reason why I chose white, obviously it's just personal preference on the bottom bit, is because we're not actually 100% sure what bed we're going for, and I didn't want to go neutral and then white on top, because if the bed sort of clashes with the colour of the wall, then I don't think it would look right. So I've decided to go white, so whatever bed we have in front will kind of stand out against the white background. So yeah, sorry if that's been a bit boring, but that's just the plans for the rooms. So I will take you on through into the small bedroom. Now it looks so bright in here. Just one coat of whitewash has made such a big difference. But yeah, like I was saying, I think the dado rail we're just going to have coming from probably that window height, and we're just going to take it all the way around the room to hopefully just elevate the ceiling a little bit more to make it look that little bit bigger. Obviously the radiator is going to be put on here soon, hopefully, and then obviously we'll continue. No, the radiators will go on after we've painted, but that will be shortly after. And Sam actually covered up this window whilst he was spray painting, because actually in the second bedroom the old windows were still in, so it didn't matter about getting paint on them, but because obviously these are new, he just wanted to protect that as much as possible. So yeah, it's looking so different in here. Sam has put the door frame on as well, So it's, yeah, just a case of getting this all painted up, dado rail on, once I've actually ordered it, and then this room will be looking a lot different. And then in here, now please don't judge my cleaning, it has taken a lot to get to this point. Sorry, it went out of focus then. And it does need re-cleaning again in certain areas, because where I've grouted, the thicker areas have stuck onto the tiles a little bit more. But it looks so different in here already by just grouting it. Please ignore all the mess at the top there. That's going to be all sanded down, and then the ceiling will be painted afterwards. But yeah, the walls are looking so good, and I am actually really happy with my first time grouting these tiles. Down here was a pain to clean up, and I mean, it's still not perfect, but I'll have a couple more goes at trying to sort of get it all cleaned out. As you can see, there's just sort of marks everywhere. I'll give it a couple more goes with some nice hot water just to try and get that off. But if I just stand from here, it's looking really, really lovely in here. And up on the ceiling, I don't think I did mention actually, we're going to have just a couple of spotlights here. And then the vanity unit is going to go here. We have actually got a cupboard with a light, that hence why this bit of wires here above there. And then over here we're just going to have a cistern that will be the blue colour as well to match the vanity to go here. And then I think I'm going to put just like a nice vase with eucalyptus flowers in the window there. And I have remembered to order the frosted glass for that. So fingers crossed in the next couple of weeks we'll be able to just get that changed. So it's frosted. Although I don't actually think I'm going to be putting a blind up in here. Well, I'm not to start with anyway, because outside, I don't really want to show too much, but there's no sort of windows on next door's house to see in, and from the road you can't actually see in either. So yeah, we're not 100% sure, but there would be no need to put a blind here, especially when we've got the frosted glass in, because nobody's going to see in and we can't see out either. So yeah, and then in this main bedroom later on this evening, we're going to get all this stuff moved into the ensuite, so Sam can get all the skirtings done in this bedroom. But the plan is to obviously panel 3/4 of the way up here, and then we're just going to have sort of like very small rectangle paneling mouldings going across there, and then we're going to have a thicker dado rail going across the top, and then obviously the bed will just sit in front. As you can see, the wires either side, they're just for where the wall lights are going to go. Obviously bed's going to go in the middle with 2 bedside tables, and then these drawers will end up being moved over here. I still obviously need to upcycle this one. That will probably go over this side, and then in the middle, if you'd have watched one of my previous videos when I upcycled my Facebook Marketplace set of drawers, that'll end up going in the middle. And then across this side, I'm gonna have hopefully a nice sort of like floor mirror that I'm going to place here. Floor mirror, that's not the correct wording, but anyway, big mirror that's going to be rested against the wall here. So if anybody can recommend or know of any good companies that do sort of like big mirrors, then please do let me know, because that will just sort of like open up the space. With the window being here, the light will hopefully reflect off and make the room look bigger. And then in here, this hasn't actually been touched up at all yet, but Sam has still got to plaster all in there, still got the Artex ceiling, so there is still a lot to do, but I feel like this past week we've made quite a lot of progress. And with regards to the mouldings, if you'd have watched my previous video, I was talking about which ones I found online, and actually Build World did come out as the cheapest, and I did look at the delivery cost, and it was £10 for delivery, which I don't think is too bad. and the mouldings, I'm still going to go with those kind of mouldings, and I think I will end up ordering from Build World, but dado rails I can't seem to find on there. I was going to go for the smaller moulding for the rectangles and the bigger moulding for like the top of here and also the tops of in the small bedroom, but it doesn't kind of have that lip at the top that I want. So especially in the small bed, with having a lip at the top means I can sort of like hang pictures from the dado rail, which means that I won't actually have to drill into the walls, which is the kind of idea that I'm going for. And then in here, similar sort of thing, if I wanted to rest any sort of pictures on top or hang any below, then obviously the option's there. So with regards to the dado rail, I don't believe Build World do it. I have tried to look and I can't find anything, so we may look elsewhere for that. But for anyone that may be interested, I'll just keep you updated and let you know what we end up going with, and how good of a quality it is and how quick we get them delivered as well. I do apologise for the ramble, but now all our plans are set in stone. I just kind of wanted to show you all. My brain has literally gone into overdrive with all the different ideas, and I have one plan set kind of for how I want the rooms to look, and then the next minute I'm like, oh no, but what if I don't like that in 5 years time, or what if this, or what if that. So I am quite an indecisive person. It takes a lot for me to actually come to a final conclusion on exactly what I want, but I do want it to be right first time, so I think I'm just putting a lot of pressure on myself just to try and make it my kind of perfect. It may be different for somebody else, but I think I'm happy with where we're at. Obviously the progress over this past week has been quite a lot, so it kind of just makes me excited to get it all done now. But I think I'm going to end this video here. Over the next week, which will be my next video, will consist of just the updates that we get done over the next couple of days. I mean, we have got a busy weekend ahead of us, so I kind of might film a bit of a day in the life or what I get up to over the weekend. We do want to try and get out in the garden as well, actually, and try and clear it out as much as possible. If you'd have seen my previous video of the state that the garden is in, apart from the beautiful flowers of course, then yeah, it kind of does really need a bit of a tidy up. If you have enjoyed this video, please do give it a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already.